Hey guys, so for the last project of the semester, I decided to do a integrated training program for a college-age wrestler, a 165-pound weight class to be exact, a senior, 21 years old, who's looking to get a little bit stronger, keep his stabilization, keep his power, but not gain too much weight. He wants to stay in the same weight class, so we're not focusing on hypertrophy or maximal training, anything like that. Just the three required phases. The stabilization endurance is the first to start with. So first, with every training session, we start with a little bit of foam rolling. So just to show, in the beginning of day one, we have foam rolling of the calves, glutes, and the quads. So for the calves, you can pretty much do them have them start off at the same time, hands right behind them, pick themselves up, and just go back and forth to about, I'd say about the top of the ankles to right below the knees. You don't want to roll right underneath the knee, and you don't want to roll right over the ankles, so just right in the meat of the muscle. Have them do this for about 30 seconds or so. If they don't feel much here, they can put one foot on top of the other, and this will help them put a little more pressure into that calf. And get the other side. And that's how you get the calves. Now for the glutes, you can have them simply start off just right here rolling back and forth, but really the best way to do it is to crisscross one foot over the other, and then to lean slightly on top of that glute. Just have them go back and forth. This will really expose that muscle, and this might be a little sensitive for people who are new to training or who are generally a little more overactive in their muscles or aren't that flexible. So again, 30 seconds aside here. We'll switch, lean into it. Go from the glute right till you're about to hit that iliac crest, the lower back. This should feel pretty good. So 30 seconds each side for that. And then the quads, last one. Same thing, you can pretty much do two at a time. I would start right above the kneecaps and go all the way until you're about to hit your hips. Same thing, just getting the meat of the muscle. Don't roll over the kneecap itself or the hips themselves. And same thing here, if they're not feeling too much pressure, they can stack one foot on top or one leg on top of the other. And this will probably be plenty sensitive enough for most people. So do 30 seconds that side. Switch. 30 seconds on the other. And that's it for the foam rolling, of the foam rolling portion. That shouldn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes, 30 seconds each one. Next we have static stretches. So we have the static piriformis stretch. That's going to look like this. So you're here on the bench, sitting down on the bench, and you can do this kind of anywhere. Crisscross, like you're sitting cross-legged at a desk. Sit up nice and tall, and you can put a slight pressure on this knee. And the key here is to lean forward. If this is my back, I'm not bending at the spine, I'm leaning forward at the waist. Pulling that chest forward. Feeling this all up and down the leg, maybe a little bit in the hip. Pulling this for about 45 seconds each side for this program. And we'll switch. Again, just lean forward, that's the key here. I'll show you a side view. See here, sitting up and really leaning forward, bringing that chest forward. Holding that each side for 45 seconds. That's the piriformis stretch. For our static chest stretch, you're going to need a ledge of a wall or a doorway. Let's see. So I'm right here on the ledge. One forearm or arm goes in a nice L shape right against the edge. put the same side leg forward, and you can first have them start by just leaning forward, and if they don't feel enough, have them rotate, open up that chest, and they should really feel this all on the chest. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low, then it'll be a little uncomfortable. You might feel it in the back or the shoulder. Just have them really nice, perfect 90-degree angle, leaning forward. That's one side. Get the other side. See it better from this side. You should feel it all right here in the chest. And again, same thing. They're holding that for 45 seconds in today's program. Last one, we have our static lat stretch or QL stretch. You're going to hit a little bit too. I like to do this using a TRX. So you're here, grab a TRX, simply sit back, keep the legs nice and straight, turn the palm out away from, so it should be facing away from your face, and then you can slowly rotate up, look underneath that armpit, straightening the leg, same side leg that the arm is reaching. Nice deep breaths. Let's see if I can get a better view on that. So you're here, sitting back. Have them start off first by keeping the hand normal. If they're tight enough, they'll feel this all up and down here. If they don't feel much, have them turn that palm out, straighten the leg, and then look underneath. And then they really should be feeling this all up and down and even down that lower back in that quadratus lumborum area. So again, same thing. You'll do it on that side. Hit it on the other side. Same exact form. And just like all our other static stretches, that's being held for 45 seconds each side. So that's it for the static stretching portion. For our core, balance and plyometric training, there's no rest in between the exercises, very little rest in between. The first one we have is a prone plank with a hip extension. It's gonna look like this. So you're in just a regular prone plank position, and all you're doing, or I could also call these leg lifts, you're just slowly bringing one leg up, bringing it back, and alternating. So making sure the hips aren't raising, back's not arching, we're not rounding, we're still nice and flat. Just slowly lifting up each foot. And that's the first core exercise. You're going to perform that one for 10 each side with a slow, controlled tempo. The next one is the two-leg floor bridge. So two-leg floor bridge, glute bridge, whatever you want to call it. You're down on your back, nice and flat. Feet are on the ground. I like to tell my clients to make sure their rib cage isn't arching up. If it looks like this, they're just using their lower back. I like to have them first tuck, flatten their back, and then drive up. So that's what it should look like. Nice and even. Drive up. So I'm making a nice flat angle. I'm engaging my glutes and my hamstrings, using my core to keep everything nice and straight. Again, nice slow and controlled tempo all the way up. A lot of times clients will go not all the way down. Make sure they go all the way up, all the way down. And they're performing 15 reps of that one. And again, same thing, nice slow and controlled tempo. That's the second core for today's program. For the balance exercise, we just have a simple single leg balance on the floor. So I like to tell my clients to look in the mirror and to focus on one point and try to, a point that's not moving, and to try to just focus on that to help them with balance. I also like to have them, tell them keep their arms straight up if they're first starting. If they're new, you can have them keep them on your hips, or have them do movements with it, but for the most basic form, nice and flat, on a flat, steady surface, I like to keep one knee slightly bent in the air. If clients are keeping it right here, they're more apt to just tap on the ground. So have them keep a slight bend in their knee if they're capable of it. Holding for 30 seconds aside. Then we're just switching, just holding. No movements here. We're simply just holding it, getting that basic, getting that real most basic form of balance that you can probably do. And that's it. And for the last one of this set that I would do, so again, there's no rest in between any of these exercises, but the last one, squat jump with the stabilization, you're holding the landing position for 3 to 5 seconds. So self-explanatory, you're coming down, hop up, 1, 2, 3, hold. Reset, 1, 2, 3. As a trainer, you should probably be the one doing the counting. And from the side, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's a squat jump with a hold. We're performing 8 repetitions in the stabilization phase. After that, you have them, after all of that, the 2 core exercises, the balance and the squat jump, they're gonna rest about 30 seconds, and then they're gonna go through all of that one more time. So you're just going 2 rounds through all of that. And that's it for the core balance and plyometric program, or round of this, of today's workout. Next, we have our speed, agility, and quickness. Just gonna start off with some simple ladder drills. So, see if I can set this up. So for the first one, we're just starting off nice and easy. 1 foot is going in each box, so you're literally just stepping. You can call these 1-ins. Try to pump their arms off nice and easy. Just 1 foot in the ladder at a time. 2 feet are not going in the same ladder. They're just stepping, walking through. Have them perform that down and back. Next one, 2-ins. This is 2 feet in. Make sure they're keeping track, or the trainer is keeping track of which foot is going forward, because on the way back, they're going to switch the lead foot. So if I'm going down, you can say left foot forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the opposite direction, the right foot's coming forward. All right, so it's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a good way for clients to keep track in their head of which foot's coming next. Tell them to keep track of that number, that 1, 2, 1, 2 pattern. Third one, jumping jacks. We're going 2 in, 2 out, 2 in, 2 out. 2 feet are going in, 2 feet are going out. You can have them do the arm motion if you want to. Helps client keep the rhythm. Going down and back, and that's jumping jacks. Next one, you're going out, out, in. So I like to have them start with 2 feet on either side of the box. Then they're going in, out, going to the next box. In, out, out. And again, you want the client or the trainer to keep track of which foot goes in first, because that foot will go out first, and then you want to switch that the next time coming through. So if my left foot was the one that's going in first on the way down, right foot's going in first. In, out, in, out. All right? Now we have coming from the side, our lateral in, out, outs. So you start from the side. Again, keep track of that lead foot, or whatever foot is leading down this way, I like to have that foot going first. So if I'm going down to my right foot's going in first, followed by my left, then I'm stepping back out. In, out. Trying to pump those arms while you're moving. Get down to one end, left foot's going in first on the opposite end. And that's it for the last one. We have the Ali shuffle. Same thing, lead foot goes in first. I'm going down to my right foot starts off in the box first. Left foot replaces it. My right foot is down in front of the next box that we're going inside. Switch, and you're just switching, keeping that hopping momentum. You can have them go right into it on the way down. And that's it for the speed, agility, and quickness drills. We're just doing 6 ladder drills with that one. You're gonna rest about 90 seconds after that in the stabilization phase, and then you'll have them repeat it one more time. So just 2 rounds through the speed and agility, quickness phase. And now we're on to the resistance training. We got 6 exercises. It's a full body workout. We're doing a vertical style way of lifting. So we're going through each body part once, resting, and then going through it again. So it's a stabilization phase. They're nice, easy exercises, or I shouldn't say easy, but they're the basic exercises, so we're not doing too much overloading. We're not trying to kill the client. Just get them through the motions, you know, get those patterns, those adaptations to start happening. So to start off, my first one, or I should say first, the tempo for all these exercises is a 4-2-1. So 4 on the eccentric phase, 2-second pause followed by a 1-second concentric phase. And this is all done at 60% intensity, or the 1 rep max. So the first one I have is a chest press off of a ball. Alright, so pretty self-explanatory. Have the client roll out so that about their shoulder blades is on the back of the ball. It's hard to see, but you want your hips nice and even with it too. Their head shouldn't have to rest too far off. Their head should be able to rest a little bit on the ball. And then from here, they're just performing a nice easy chest press. So have them start off here. As a trainer, someone starting off in the stabilization phase, you should probably hand them the weights with them up here. So they're coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, up. The trainer should obviously be the one doing the counting. Again, come down. 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, up. Let me see if I can get an angle of that. There you go, looks better. So nice and flat, core's tucked in. Starting up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, pause. 1 second up, come up fast. Nice and slow on the way down. Hold it for 2, coming up. That's the ball chest press. That one is performed for today's workout for 15 repetitions. For the second one, we have a standing cable row with 1 arm. So, for a 1 arm, I like to grab a cable with a handle like so. All right, cable's in 1 arm. I like to have the client start a nice athletic position. We're squared up with the cable, and we're just driving back. If they're standing up too straight, they're not going to be using their core a lot. They're going to want to rotate. It's going to be a little awkward. Have them bend the knees slightly, core's tucked in, we're nice and flat, back's nice and flat. Drive that elbow through. Then get the other side. Pulling through. Find from a more different angle. You're here, knees bent, making sure my shoulders aren't shrugging, or the client's shoulders aren't shrugging. We're not rotating the shoulders too much. We're just driving that elbow back. Switching. And that's the two-legged, one-arm cable row. Again, that's going to be 15 repetitions a side, or excuse me, 12 repetitions a side for today's workout. Next one for shoulders, we got our two-legged alternating arms shoulder press overhead. And this is for 10 each side. Excuse me. So for this one, again, I like to have all athletes in a nice athletic stance. They're starting off here, holding one in a static position, pressing up with the other. So again, coming up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then you're alternating. So nice and slow, hold, press up, nice and slow on the way down, hold, nice and controlled. Making sure that back isn't arching. A big one, if people don't have the range of motion, they'll arch their back. If they don't have the range, if it's a shoulder problem, just make sure, don't have them do shoulder press. Have them do a different shoulder exercise. Or make sure that their core is strong enough. Sometimes they might have the range, but their back's arching because their core is not strong enough. So again, have them really bend their knees, engage their core, and start off with a lighter weight, especially when the overhead chest press. You don't want to put that load in their back. Next one, we have our single leg dumbbell bicep curls. This is just for 10 each leg. So you're here, standing up on one leg, nice and easy, and just curl. I like to have them turn the palms in first and then curl up rather than just keep them supinated. I believe it takes a lot less stress off the elbows, especially in athletes. So you do 10 on that side, switch sides, and do 10 on the other. From a side view. Again, making sure they're not swinging, making sure they're not arching their back. Nice and easy. That's 10 aside. For our triceps, we have a lying supine tricep extension. That's gonna look like this. So we're on the ball for this one. Start off with 2 light weights for this one. You really don't need to go heavy for any arm exercise, but especially starting off stabilization with triceps, take it nice and easy. So same position as the chest press. My shoulder blades on the back of the ball. My head can rest a little bit. We're here, making sure we're not moving at the shoulders at all. We're only hinging at the elbows. Dip down, keeping the palms facing in. Extend up. That's 1. And you're going to perform 15 of those. That's the tricep extensions off the ball. Last one, a lunge to balance and a sagittal plane. So, again, 2 light dumbbells. They're here. They're going backwards lunge. The trick here is to make sure that when they step back, they don't keep pushing their hips back. They're stepping back, keeping that toe up, and then relaxing the back leg. And then they're stepping up, nice and balanced. So we're here, nice and controlled. Keeping that 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, hold tempo. And we'll switch. And that is the lunge to balance sagittal plane. That's the last one for the resistance training portion. We'll do 10 of those side on the lunge to balance. So you would try to take the client through all those exercises with real minimal rest in between each one. Rest a good 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes at the end of that round. And then for today's workout, for day 1 of the stabilization phase, they're going to repeat that just 2 times. And then for the cool down, you're simply repeating the foam rolling and the static stretching that you did for the warm-up portion of this workout. So that's day 1 of the stabilization phase for a college age wrestler.